Okay. Morning, people. Morning, YouTube. We are in Talking Talk. Talking Talk is a conversation platform where you can learn some languages like English, Spanish, French, German, and in a few time Mandarin too. I will be your host for today. I'm not a teacher. We are not in a normal class. We will teach you nothing, but you will learn a lot. Respect the other's opinions, respect the time, because everyone wants to talk, and I hope you enjoy this conversation. Today we will talk about the things that happen in the world. If God exists, why there is evil in the world? We will discuss a little about this. I will start present myself and answer this question. What God means to me? I'm Elias. I'm 37. I work with IT since 2008. It's 16 years. I'm married. I have no pets. I have no kids yet, but I intend to. I live in Teresópolis. Teresópolis is a small city in the countryside of Rio de Janeiro. It takes about 2 hours from capital. And the Brazilian concentration, CBF, is here. Um, what else? On my free time, I like to listen to music, watch movies, and I like food. I like sushi, some Asian food I like, and that is it. Hello, Bel. Long time no see you.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Yeah, I'm back. I think.
Okay,
Good.
Carlos, can you present yourself? After that, Bel too.
Okay, I'm Carlos. Um, I'm 30 years old. I'm from Argentina. Uh, I I'm from Argentina, but I am work to Brazil in Lapsif company in Bahia. I work from home, and I'm here to practice my English for for better jobs. And uh, about question. Uh, I think I think would exist, and and I I I went to the church in the past, and I I I know the the book Bible Bible
Yes,
uh,
Holy Bible.
um, and my wife uh, she goes to the church, and she speak very about good to me. And it's interesting uh, topic, very interesting. I i have very I have very things to speak about this topic, because I'm studying in the past in seminary. I I study three 3 years in seminary uh, in the past. Uh, uh, it it that's so it's that's it.
Okay, thanks, Carlos. Carlos, are you working in which company? Sorry, I don't catch.
Uh, Labs company. It's a company with software development in Itapetinga, Bahia.
Great.
Uh,
Okay, thanks. Uh, and you, Bel, present yourself. I forget to say what God means to me. For me, God is a person. Is not some cultures believe God is a kind of energy. I don't believe that. For me, God is a person. It's not like a human, but it's something greater than human. But it's a person. He has a personality. He has feelings, but not like us. But yes, it's a kind of yeah. Is a character, a person, not an energy. And about you, Bel, present yourself and say, what's God to you?
Yeah, good question. It's a great topic. Yeah, here because of I read about this topic title, and oh my God, in the morning, Monday morning, to talk about that, it's really interesting for me. So I'm Belle. I live in Bahia, by the way, Carlos, but I live in Salvador. Yeah, I'm from Fortaleza. I'm 29. I work like as a controller, and I really like to talk about that and listen about other conception about God, about the life, about purpose of the life. And yeah, so I live with my mother. I have two dogs, and so it's so hard to explain God. And at the first moment, first of all, I think it's not possible to explain what God is mean. Maybe it's that conception will bring in our mind. Maybe the God will be a experience. I'm a little different about your conception, and because I'm more my trend it's believe that God will be um, a knowledge, yeah, or it's not like energy, but all the week awake and the word. I don't know explain that. I'm not able to explain what God for me, but I can feel you sometimes at my life when I'm awake about life or when I bring some reflections at my life, yeah. And involve feelings like love, like to be grateful. Yeah, it's a little confused in my mind, but all the time I'm open to listen about other conception and points of views. Yeah, so I think it's that.
Okay, thanks, Bel. And about you, Bianca, what's your opinion? And present yourself.
Well, morning. My name is Yanka. I am 27 years old. I am living in Campinas, doing my PhD in here in demography area. And well, what God means to me, God means something that made part of an ideology or culture for someone. And sometimes I see his name used by politics or in the society to make the things that humans want, not necessarily that God wants, but mainly what humans want, what is interesting for the humans to be done sometimes. So it's more a use of God, not a God itself, I think.
Thanks, Bianca, for sharing. It's interesting because some people uh, make behave like exists a personal God for everyone. Some people believe that okay, God for me means something, and for you maybe means another thing. and it is okay. So some people believe that. I don't believe that. I believe, like I said, God is a person. He has personality, desires, okay, our power, okay. But I can, if I think God, uh, like put the God in a place that I agree, I will reduce God to a thing. If I do this, I'm trying to be higher than God. I don't believe that. I believe God is okay. There is a lot of different opinions about what is God, but I think it's a person higher than us, higher than me. Okay, let's move to the next question, number two. Carlos, can you read the question number two and answer, please?
Does your personal
Can you see the question in the chat?
Mm-hmm.
Can.
Um, can you explain that question, please? How does your personal how does your personal decision influence your perspective on evil in the world? Um, the question is, uh, in my perspective, uh, good influence on evil in the world?
Yes, in your opinion, uh, your feeling about God, how do you your thoughts about God influences the your perspective about the evil in the world?
Okay, it's complicated. I,
Yes,
I think uh, uh, God is good, is good person. Um, but um, uh, I think also um in the world have uh, many people with heart evil, evil. Then in the world have uh, many problem because people with her evil, but God is good. Uh, I I think that uh,
okay, guys. Thanks for sharing. This question is very difficult. Sometimes I have difficulty to answer this question. But before share my opinion, uh, let me see the other's opinion. Ianka, what's your opinion about this question?
About the question number two, yes?
Yes, number two.
Okay, well, I don't believe in God, but I believe in the use that humans made of the God's name. I think a creation of God to serve to some interests, maybe. So, in my perspective about evil in the world, uh, is that the evil is done by the humanity itself, in my perspective. So the greed, a ganância, makes the people to want more than others and don't take care of the others, I think. So the evil to me, it's made by the humanity itself, and it's more because of greed, I think. Greed and capitalism, maybe, where we have to have some people in the top and some people in the base, and the humanity sometimes don't care about the others, just about their selves, I think. And I see the use of the name of the God to maintain the society as the way that is going for so long time, to maintain the status quo sometimes, to don't make some revolution to change the way that the structure is made, I think.
Yeah, Yanka, thanks for sharing. And about you, Bel, what's your opinion?
Yeah, about that, maybe my opinion will be about absence of God in the world. Yeah, because I believe with a God. Yeah, we have a purpose in our life, and but it's not like you believe. It's a little different. It's not necessary to be a person or material. Yeah, maybe it's not a kind of energy, but it's like um, uh, supreme energy of knowledge about the world. Yeah, and for me, when we talk about the evil of the world, it's the absence of God. Yeah. We, like a human, we have a free will to choose something. We all the time we have two options or two decisions to do in our life, and we can to be awake about what kind of choose will be good for you and for the others. Yeah, and it's my opinion. When you don't live with God, maybe will be a absence of God, and we normally talk about evil on the world, but I think the everything is consequence about our choose in the past. Yeah, we just live what need to live to learn something and improve ourselves in the spiritual way. Yeah, it's my conception.
Okay, thanks for sharing. In my opinion, I think we can think about God like imagine, for example, what is code? If we think about it, the code doesn't exist, but the code is lack of hit. If we don't have something to hit to warm the weather, for example, we getting cold. Uh, in this, I mean, if you if we done as if we um don't approach of God, the consequences is the evil. Um, it's difficult to it's difficult to explain, especially in English. But I think that the, uh, the evil in the world is a consequence of the lack of the God. If we approach of the God, we can see a conception. We can look at ourselves, and we can improve ourselves. And if we don't want, okay, like Bell said, we have free will, and I'm not obligated to believe in God or to behave like that. But there is it's choices in life. Like Ianca said, our choices will lead us to a good word or a bad word. Um, okay, let's go the question this question number 3 is interesting. Can you read the question, Bell?
Yeah, sure, of course. The question number 3, yeah?
Yes.
If God is good, why does evil and suffering exist in the world? Yeah, it's a that question. It's a talk for the a speaker or a class about that. We can talk a lot about that, but and when you have a just about my opinion, I like I mentioned before, it's because we live and the persons have a free will about everything. And like I said, yeah, absence of God that's bring for us the suffering on the world. Yeah, when you're not awake about a consequence of choice, we can live in the in the in that kind of conditions. Yeah. So it's my opinion. I think involve free will. Yeah, and yeah, it's my conception. It's little sensitive to talk about that and explain
Yes.
in English.
Okay, Bell, thanks for sharing. Uh, and then about you, Carlos. And the question number 3.
Okay. Um, in my opinion, uh, the people have good things and evil things. Um, uh, and suffering. Uh, the, the people have the people have different backgrounds in her life, and what suffering uh, we speak. For example, suffering because money. People people have uh, people have angry people have hungry, and uh, um, then uh, the most problem in respect hungry in the population is because bad administration of money in the world. Um, for example, the player of football earn very very money, uh, very money, but uh, have cities, uh, uh, big cities uh, with very poverty, and have many people poverty, uh, and um, this proportion of money in the world. Um, mm, it's complicated, but it's my opinion.
Okay. You bring an interesting point, Carlos, about the lack of administration of money. A lot of problems is about the lack of administration of money, inequalities. But for example, in the Holy Bible, we have some advices about the money administration. Um, I'm not okay. I'm not talking about give all your money for the others. No, I'm not talking about this. But if we spend better our money, we can reach things in life. For example, it's not a bad thing. For example, nowadays I have my flat. My flat is all paid off. Thanks God. I have a car. It's not a very great car, but it's enough for me. I always pray to God to give me wisdom to administrate my money. Uh, I'm not. Sometimes when I can, I help some people. It's not. I know I don't help a lot of people. I don't have a lot of money, but for example, in if we, including me, okay, if you we follow the advices of the God in the Holy Bible, for example, we can help other people. When the Holy Bible said, love the others like you love yourself. If I understand this concept, I can some maybe we do a little more. Like you said, the football players earn a lot of money, but there's a lot of inequality, a lot of people people angry with a lot of needs. I don't know. I'm not agree with this opinion. They have to give you all the money for charity. No, I'm not say that, but maybe if we, for example, I think there are some football players that comes from communities, and they help communities, for example. And I think uh, if you understand this, we can help some people. Understand? I think it's the in this way. I think it's word from not from me, from the gods. Understand? We can help some people. If we are not selfish, for example, we can give some for others. It's my opinion. Uh, yes, I talk a lot. Then I just answer this question. Why does evil exist in the world? I think, like you said, the evil is the consequence of the lack of God. If we if we are far from God, bad things happen. But it's not bad things. But we behave bad. We don't thinking the others. We become selfish. Like you said, for example, about my conception of God, like I said, God is has personality and has some morality about some kind of morality too. And if for example, if you see there are some advices, don't kill anyone. If we disrespect, is a God advice. I get into a trouble, for example. Then I think when we don't follow these advices, bad things happen with me, with my life, and in people in the world in general. Okay, I think Ian Castor, né? Yes.
Yes, about the question number 3. Well, I don't believe that the bad in the world is the result of lack of God, actually, because I see a lot of people that affirms that they have God or they works from his name, and at the same time, the same people make so many things against others, for example, or make bad things, or take the dízimo to buy superfluous things like expensive watch or to have expensive life. So sometimes it's not rare, de raro, in my perspective, to see someone using the God's name to take money from the poor people to have an expensive life, for example. And I don't know, I see this person affirms that have God and works from his name, and at the same time do a lot of things that aren't, in my perspective, good for the population. And mainly, I don't see a lot of people that affirms that have God loving the others like they love themselves, you know. Sometimes, the most part of the time, actually, I see people that affirms to have God judging or putting just the morality under the other person and not loving the other person, just judging the other person. So I don't know if is the evil in the world is a result of the lack of God. Brazil is a country that have a lot of evangelic people or Catholic people, and in spite of that, we have a lot of inequality at the same time, and not much justice, for example. And in my perspective, if God exists and if he was good, there wouldn't be so much suffering in the world unless he's a sadistic God that likes to see his son suffering, because most part of the time we don't have responsibility about the bad things that happen to us, like war in the Ukraine. I don't believe that the population in there made a so harsh thing to be punished like that. Or epidemics, for example, like the COVID-19 that happened. So sometimes the bad things happen to us, not because we was a bad person, but because of the destiny sometimes, or because of the other person that have, again, greed, have ambition, like Putin, for example, or things like that. So is that my opinion?
Thanks, Bianca. You bring a very important point. I agree with you. Some people that using the name of the God to do bad things, using the name of the God, that means you are a good person. We have bad person in everywhere, even in the church. But this person that do this is very far from God. Just using the name, but are not a good person. These are the very interesting points. But if, like you said, for example, there's a lot of people that don't believe in God, but are good people, helping people. But I don't know if you know about the Holy Bible, but people that practice the good, behavior in a good way, some of the good behavior, if you see, it's explained in the Holy Bible. Even people believe in God or not, people can be good people, following the God, God princípios, forget the word now. For example, um, I think you like you said, you do believe in God, but I believe you are a good person. I believe sometimes in life you already help someone in some way. I believe that, yes. Then believe in God or not, it's a God principle. Understand? Okay, everyone has this question number three, and anyone can add something. Okay, let's go to the next question. Number four, Carlos. Can you read the question number 4? Yeah, it's very difficult and interesting too, question.
Question number 4.
Yes.
Have you ever experienced something that made you doubt the existence of God? Doubt is dúvida.
Yes.
Okay. Experience something that made you doubt the existence of God. Would you like to share it? Okay.
If you don't want to share, you don't have obligation, okay? You just answer the first part of the question, okay?
Okay. Uh, uh, I I speak one thing because I believe in God. One thing because I do in God. Um, I see my mother. Uh, I see my mother with cancer in the vejiga. Uh, I see my mother with cancer in the vejiga. Uh, she uh, she going in the church. Uh, she she was she was healthy healthy. Uh, that that uh, that sick. Uh, I I start believe in God because that. Uh, but with respect, question number 4. Um, uh, in the past, I see uh, I see uh, some some things in the church uh, that in the lead in the lead uh, I see some things in the lead lead people in the church. I I start to dubs. Uh, I was confused because that uh, about comportment in pastors. But my conclusion is uh, Pastor Evie. It's because uh, they now because Deus because God and uh, I I I leave it uh, uh, it it's all.
Yes, sometimes it's happening with me, it's something like that's happening with me. Like I said, there is bad people in everywhere, even in the church. These people that are using the name of God to behave is like like you said, are very far from God. But I think it's not for example, imagine, for example, just an example, Carlos. Um, your mother is alive? Is she alive? I don't know.
Like
Okay,
that.
okay.
Mhm.
For example, you know your mother. I think your mother is a good person, okay? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, for example, imagine me in a street on some place doing a lot of things, bad things, in the name of your mother, okay? Oh, I'm doing this because Carlos' mother. Okay, but you can judge your mother because of my behavior. Understand?
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. You have to understand. You have to understand. You have to ask your mother. Mother, you said to Elias to do this, to do that. You can understand, but it's not about your feelings, your thoughts. You can't to ask for your mother. If your mother really explain to you if it's wrong, okay, you don't have to judge your mother, but you have to analyze me, my behavior. I believe that. I believe in like that. And about you, Bel?
Yeah, so about the question number four, yeah, every time I have doubts about existence of God, because every time I request myself about God definition, and I believe in God, but when happens something in our life, mainly with my mother or my parents or my family, my relates, we start to request about the God existence. It's normal. I understand that because the human mind is so it's not enough to understand the God conception. And yeah, about some example or experience, that kind of situations never happened with me. So hard like you, Carlos, for example, about some sick in my family. But yeah, in my opinion, every time when I think about the God existence, I think about the others, the social inequality, for example, why some persons coming for the world and suffering a lot or have a different um, opportunities, for example, or about babies, that or that. So yeah, some persons suffering a lot, yeah. And I'm not compared with that kind of person, but when you can see about the money, why we have inequality, social and financial, for example, because yeah, we have that kind of difference, yeah. So I request myself about that. Why God um, allow that, yeah, in the world. And nowadays, my conception is because that involves others' lives or other behaviors in the past. I'm a spiritualist, so that kind of conception um, bring me some um, comfortable ideas about that. Yeah, and I'm not able to change that in the world, but I can understand and not to be unfair about God just because that. And the only thing that I want to do is to be good for the others. Yeah. It's like Bianca said, I totally agree with her about the some persons talk a lot about God or have a doctrine, a religion, beliefs, strong beliefs, but when need to love the other, that person, it's not enough, or just will be uh, yeah in face that conception. Yeah, it's like I say something but I to do a different thing. So most important of all, I think it's behavior and the love manifestation, I think. Yeah, and I can, and nowadays I try to do that when that kind of doubt come in my mind. I start to think just about myself, like what I'm able to do for the others. Yeah, because I try to be grateful about my life, about my health, about my profession, about my family, about the others, about all the experience in my life. And I start to see myself like a person that's able to change the other or offer for the other my good feelings or good action. Yeah. So every time that kind of doubt will be here with me, I think it's totally normal. I think that don't involve my lack of fair, and I don't fight, I think. So, yeah, and I'm trying to change that because it's not so important to have a lot of conception about God when you don't to do anything for the other. Yeah, that's needed, your action or love manifestation. I think it's that, but it's really, really common in my mind, a lot of doubt about existence of God. And for me nowadays, it's better believe in God. Yeah, for my health, mental health, and spiritual health. I think that.
Yes, you bring a interesting point. And person that do nothing for the other persons, probably, for sure, are very distant from God. Um, and about you, Yanka. No, I think you don't answer this question. Yes, yes. Number four.
No, no. Have you ever experienced something that made you doubt the existence of God? What make me doubt of the existence of God is, I think God's sons make me doubt about the God's existence sometimes because it's so unfair sometimes. I see most part of the time a moralization from the God's sons, for example, or from the people that go to church, and asking in a heavy way to people do what they want that or what they think that is right to do, but at the same time, in the intimacy, this person, essas mesmas pessoas betrayal his wife, for example, or steal from the for the poor people. So sometimes I see God's sons making a moralization about others, but in the intimacy, doing everything wrong, actually, but use the title of God's sons to have more, uh, to have more, não é consistência, tu tem que ter
Advantage.
mais credibility, I think.
Okay.
Using the name of God to have more credibility about what they are saying, but not what they are living in fact, in the intimacy way. And as Belle said, I think, or Carlos said, I see some churches operating like companies, concerned only with the dízimo and the money that they can receive from the poor people, from the poor people. And this to me, it's not hair. It's not a hair thing that happened in the society. I see like a rede, a net of church doing this. Mainly in the Brazil, I think. And it's strange to me to see a powerful God doing nothing about that, seeing his sons, his true sons, using the poverty of the others to become rich, for example. And a powerful God, seeing this, seeing the faith of good people being used to someone become rich, to me it's unfair. So these two things, I think, this blind, sometimes the convenient blind of God about the bad things that his sons does, about money or about just morality, about others, but not living. In fact, that morality make me doubt of the existence of God. Actually, I don't believe, but it's that.
Yes, you bring one more time a very interesting points. But like I said, people that behave that are not like you said, are not God's sons. Because if we want to be called God's sons, we have to obey the Father. Understand? People behaving that are very far from God. It's not good people. Like I said, there are bad people in everywhere, even the church. But like I said to Carlos, uh, I can judge if I do something in the name of the other person, we can judge the other person cause of mine. We can judge me. But when I said the morality, things like that, for example, uh, okay, there is a lot of things that he shows wear a mask of morality, but behind of the scenes, cheat your wife, like you said, things like that. But again, this kind of people are bad people, and I think this behavior is also one more advice of God. Things like that will happen in the world. But yes, it's very difficult to understand sometimes. But see, God don't have a kind of a blind like you said. But it's not. Sometimes it's a tolerance, but it's not permission. Okay, it's different. Like for example, if you have a children, a kids, a father or a mother allow the kid do something, but the parents know that this thing is very bad for the children. But okay, I will give you, vou dar uma corda, but you will suffer before. You will understand before. It's not good for you. Things like that. People, this conversation is almost over. Maybe we have to finish. I hope you enjoy this conversation. Uh, this subject is very difficult to talk, even in Portuguese, in English too. But I think you enjoy. I think I'm very respectful. I hope I can explain my ideas to you. Um, I agree. I thank you very much for all of you, Bianca, for stay here, Bel, Carlos. I hope to see you in the next immersion. My next immersion is on Friday for beginners, but on Monday, Friday and Monday, in this schedule. I send you some links. The first link is a survey, and the others the site, LinkedIn, if you want to connect with me. It's not obligation, okay? Just if you want to connect. Thank you very much. Bye,
Thank you,
people.
Elias.